Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. I'm going to do another UFC video recording podcast. I've done so far UFC 1 and UFC 2. Very guerrilla style format. What I watched, finished watching UFC 3. I started on 4, but I haven't, I'm just going to do UFC 3 now. I'm going to break it down. It's going to be a little bit longer. I'll show some of the highlights, some of the fights. I'll have at least two complete fights, and then I'll break it down. So I took my iPad and recorded. Let's see. Let me go back here. UFC 3, the first fight, which was Keith Hackney and Emmanuel Yarborough. And I talk a little bit about it more, how Keith Hackney looks like me. But what you talk about a freak show. Keith Hackney, this little guy, weighs 200 pounds, 5'10", and Emmanuel Yarborough was he 6'9", 614 pounds. So I have that fight. I filmed that. The Shamrock film. I'm sorry, did I say the Ken Shamrock fight, Christopher Lemmings, and then I'm going to put up also the Hoist Gracie Kimo Leopoldo fight. Okay.
Okay, so before I show the first fight, Keith Hackney against the huge guy, Emmanuel Yarborough, I believe his name is, 6'8", 614 pounds. I want to show you a picture of one of the fighters, Keith Hackney. So, very interestingly, this is a picture of me at Lake Placid. I'm 32 years old. This is 1996. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay. There I am, and I'm with the bear there. Okay. Okay, so that's me. Now look at Keith Hackney in this fight against Yarborough. Okay, so the movie I saw last night with Jake Gyllenhaal, The Enemy, and it's a story about, and I have this up on my pad here, the Wikipedia, on Doppelganger. And you could read that there. Okay. So a doppelganger is a non-biological related look-alike or double of a living person. Okay. So take a look at this picture. That's me. And take a look at Keith Hackney. Is it Hackney or Hackney? I don't even know the guy's name, really. The difference is I'm a mellow dude, and you can see Hackney is a savage. I mean, listen, I'm sure he's a nice guy outside of the octagon, but isn't that interesting? Doppelganger. Okay, let me continue on with UFC 3.
Second-degree black belt in American Kempo Karate, earned after more than 15 years of training in the martial arts. 5'11", weighing 200 pounds, fighting out of the red corner, an amateur boxing record of 12-0, 11 by KO. Please welcome Keith Hackney. Hackney.
Stay away and try to earn it. Taylor 2 weeks in the meeting lasted about 2 minutes. Get Gerard Cordell in UFC 1. That was the can't emphasize this enough. Yarborough is coming with sumo and judo. And they're talking to each other inside the ring.
He has to stick and move. He has to move. Really good. He's got to cut off the ring. Yarborough has to really cut the ring off. It's very difficult. He's such a big man.
Keith is also known for his low leg kicks. Low leg kicks.
I don't think you can hurt him with the kick. I don't think you can hurt him with the leg or anything. He has too much weight planted. I don't think you can get any leverage against it.
And he finally got the leg. It's all Keith Hackney. Manuel just covering up. Keep in mind, the corner can stop it with the towel. The referee can stop it. Keith desperately trying to take out Manuel. He doesn't have any chokeholds, man. It's obvious. He doesn't have any submission holds.
He's trying to wear him down. He's trying to wear him down. Manuel's
He just gave in. Manuel just tapped out.
a big man like that. It's very difficult for him to be agile on the ground, as you notice.
Yeah. It was a series of rights and lefts here. It didn't look like anything fancy. Got him on the ground and simply beat him.
It's a matter of agility.
That guy looks just like me, Keith Hackney, the way I used to look when I was a young man.
Emmanuel Yarborough gets $1,000 for his
Yeah,
effort.
they shake hands afterwards, okay.
Into the semifinals where he had with
Let me show this to you again. This is new to me, all this video editing and filming and sending it to iMovie. So this is unbelievable, and I'm kind of getting a little obsessed with this. Okay, here's a picture of me. And here's a picture of the mixed martial artist from UFC, Keith Hackney. That's me. I'll show you some other pictures to see, like that's his profile from the right side, okay? And then look at me in this picture. I should probably find another picture too, because, you know, this is straight on and I'm smiling. But, you know, I showed, you know, my wife, Madeline. She goes, holy shit, I didn't know you were a fighter, Mike. Okay. Like the same hair and everything. Look at that. And then here. That's weird. Okay, let me go on with the fight. Oh, and see the movie The Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal. Great movie about doppelgangers.
Hello and welcome back to Tabor Talk. So, again, a little different this video. I had like 7 or 8 clips. I sent it off to iMovie. I don't do editing here really. You know, it's just really raw, unscripted. That's the appeal of Tabor Talk here. But I tried a little something different here with UFC 3. So I have like 3 or 4 of the fights. If you've just seen, I haven't even looked at it yet, the final product. And I'm going to end it here now with the finale. So we all know UFC that Harold Howard beat, Steve Jenham beat Harold Howard. And it's weird because he was an alternative. He was fresh. That was his first fight. Harold Howard already had fought 2 times and he was exhausted. And what a character Harold Howard was. Wow. So let me go through this real quick, just as a little wrap up. UFC 3, it's in North Carolina, September 9th, 1994. Right, the first 2 were in Colorado. Keith Hackney, and I showed you that earlier. That's the first one. Keith Hackney clobbered, just that fight. As you saw, I'm not going to repeat that. And I know earlier, doppelganger with me, Keith Hackney. I'm not to repeat this. So Keith Hackney beats Emmanuel Yarborough. Shamrock beats Christopher Lemminger. Then Harold Howard. I didn't show any of that. It's worth seeing though. Harold Howard. You see with the you know, with the mullet there, and he's crazy. Bringing a coming on. If you're gonna come, I don't know what he says, but he's such a freaking character, and it's a really crazy fight and the best fight ever. And you just saw that. Of the event anyway, was Royce Gracie and Kimo Leopoldo. So everyone thought at that point that the Gracies were just infallible, that they were unbeatable, and so the mystery is gone. Chemo almost won the fight, and as we find out, Hoist Gracie cannot continue. He tries, and can you imagine all the pressure of his family? You know, Gracies do not give up. They'd rather die, death before disgrace. But the Gracies and Hoist just can't go on. They throw in the towel. So there you go. Harold Howard advances, and then the same thing with Felix Mitchell. Shamrock wins. Shamrock beats Felix Mitchell. I'm sorry if I'm stuttering. I'm looking at these notes here. My little notes. I'm not prepared. I don't, But Shamrock beat Mitchell, and he got hurt too. So you have Harold Howard and Steve Jenem, and Jenem wins, and he wins the $65,000. Was it 60 or 65? Okay, let me show you this fight, and I'll end it there. I'm not going to send it to iMovie here. I'm just going to hold up my phone. All right? So let's go. UFC 3, Steve Jenem kicking ass is the name of the thing. Ready? Pretty lame music, if you ask me. Oh, there's some more. It wasn't really that good of a fight. Lame music, lame video. But this stuff is hard to get. I'm searching YouTube, and these fights have been taken down because UFC sucks, or Zuffa, whoever owned the company. And for the other fights, I actually took my phone and was taping my smart TV. I have Fight Pass. So I hope you enjoyed that, people. I love that. I swear to God, it was such a joy to watch, to go back in time, 1994, and to see that. And again, the appeal from the beginning. I love martial arts. I love fighting. But this is, I'm both, wow, this is incredible. But then I'm also appalled. I'm like, oh my God, stop. Like, this is, someone's going to die here. It's so crazy. I mean, the excitement I felt, I can't even begin to tell you. Go back and watch it. Get Fight Pass. Download, stream, whatever it is. UFC 3. Wow. Okay. On that note, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.